Aanenson. Welcome to Target Center, as SchoolSpaceMedia.tv proudly continues its coverage of the 19th annual Timberwolves Shootout. I'm Mike Peden here with Andrew Aanenson. Champlin Park at 13-0 looks to preserve their undefeated record against the 7-3 Rice Lake Warriors from Wisconsin. Mike Peden here with Andrew Aanenson, and we'll have more on this matchup coming up next.
You're watching the 2015 Timberwolves Shootout, brought to you by School Space Media and Stream Powered Productions. This game is brought to you in part by Anoka Ramsey Community College and Anoka Technical. It's more than a college, it's a community dedicated to your success. And by the Urgency Room, with locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Badness Heights. They'll have you in fast and home soon. Go to the Urgency Room. The pregame show is coming up next.
Who cares what it holds if it can't hold your gaze? Who cares how tight it can turn if it can't turn heads? Who cares how capable it is if it's incapable of creating a reaction? Any SUV can move something, but can it move you? Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Get the best values at Village Chevrolet. Village Chevrolet has the largest selection of the new 2015 Tahoe and Suburban models in the Twin Cities. Visit villagechev.com. Chevrolet, find new roads.
And we're back. Andrew, why don't you go ahead and preview this matchup a little bit as we get ready for our feature game, our afternoon cap in this Timberwolves Shootout.
Well, it's Rice Lake takes on Champlin Park. Champlin Park is undefeated so far and also in conference play. Rice Lake comes into this game undefeated in conference play, but obviously this is a non-conference opponent. Rice Lake's going to feature Henry Aanenson. He's ESPN top 5 power forward. And I'm going to go a bit further to say he's a top 5 player in the state and in this high school bracket. JT Gibson leads Champlin Park. He's regarded as the front runner for Mr. Basketball of Minnesota so far.
There you see the keys to the game for Rice Lake. It's going to be rebounding, transition defense, and exhibiting patience on offense. For Champlin Park, they need to defend Henry Aanenson, and that will be a tough task. Establish the pressure defense and get out and run. Push the ball. Champlin Park scores in big numbers. If they can do that, they'll be in prime position to preserve their undefeated record, currently sitting at 13-0. And we're going to get the starters. Here we go. We'll start with Rice Lake. Ben Wittes will start for Rice Lake, as you see on the screen. Wittes averaging 6.3 points per game. Eric Hold also starting. Henry Aanenson averaging 30 points per game. Andrew Shiro, number 30, and number 32, Andrew Matz. And Champlin Park starters are Marty Hall, number 1, 5'9" guard. Theo John, number 3, 6'1" forward. Number 4, Jimmy Johnson, 5'9" guard. Number 15, JT Gibson, 6'5" guard. And number 25, McKinley Wright. It can be a bit of a scramble up here when you're trying to write down all the starters' names and trying to read them all. But, well, we also have the numbers up on the board. so used to self-sufficiency, sometimes you forget there are resources available. But the key matchup, as you met, will be Theo John and the player you talked about, Henry Ellenson. This is not the first visit Rice Lake has made against a Minnesota school. Henry Ellenson dropped 48 points in a loss to Minnetonka in the Breakdown Sports USA Tip-Off Classic. And Champlin Park, the undisputed #1 team in Class 4A after defeating Apple Valley. They've been building their way up. Kind of a surprise of sorts. They weren't featured in last year's bracket, and Champlin Park, kind of a surprise group. But let's see if they can continue that surprise here. And an old buddy of ours is officiating this contest, Tim Layton. We did a feature story on him recently in our Minnesota Prep Spotlight show. Layton spending many years as an official and a prep reporter for the St. Paul Pioneer Press.
Very well respected individual.
Well, he said the funniest part about his job is how coaches will lay into him during a game and then a day or two later call him up for a story idea.
That's how it goes.
Reminder, you can hit me up on Twitter at @TheSportsBrain. That is TheSportsBrain during our live coverage of this event. Just hit us up on Twitter or hit me up on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Rice Lake sending in quite a crowd in this fan section behind us. They've been gathered here for a while now. And Theo John missing the finger roll. Here is Henry Ellenson. Rice Lake wearing the blue. Champlin Park wearing the white. The fourth and final game of the 19th annual Timberwolves Shootout. And if you're still watching this and have time, make the trek down to Target Center for tonight's Timberwolves game against the Spurs. Ellenson. Fadeaway's no good, and the rebound by J.T. Gibson. Champlin Park had a huge win over Blaine earlier this week. And missing the drive is Jeremy Johnson. We had highlights of that game on our Minnesota Prep Spotlight show. We'll actually have highlights of that air tonight. Ellenson missing the three-pointer, and he's going to take a lot of shots. Ellenson is the focal point of the Rice Lake team. We're going to be calling his name a lot today.
Yeah, we are. He's an amazing post player. I want to see him. I want him parked down in that paint. He can hit the outside shot. He can run the ball, but it's not really his strength.
Three is short from J.T. Gibson, and an over-the-back foul on Marty Hill. Other players to watch.
Champlin Park foul #1.
Marty getting several offers as the from junior colleges, which of course can be the stepping stone to Division I. J.T. Gibson is a Mr. Basketball Minnesota candidate, and he will be playing his college ball at Nebraska Omaha. Well, Champlin Park with that huge section. I thought it was Rice Lake, but I suppose Champlin Park Rebels wearing the appropriate attire. And a shooting motion is granted for Theo John. He'll be fouled and go to the line. Now, the thing with Tim Layton, as he called that foul, he cannot do any stories on games he officiates. He cannot, in fact, he can't relay any notes. That's part of the rule he has to abide by to continue his duality between coach or officiating and reporting.
Theo John at the line, shooting.
But he's a very sound reporter, so ethics are not a concern with him. Theo John.
It's a good take by Theo.
Averaging 8.9 points per game. Champlin Park with a very balanced team as John splits. Coming into this game, 4 players averaging double digits. So Champlin Park has several options at their disposal. So it's going to be interesting to see how that contrasts with Rice Lake and their primary guy, Ellenson. And a coast-to-coast move by McKinley Wright for our first field goal. Champlin Park with an early 3-0 lead, as you see on our screen. Ellenson calling for it. The big post has a huge height advantage, but he's going to get called for the elbow. Jeremy Johnson may have added some theatrics to it, but there's no question that Aanenson initiated the contact.
Yeah, he's playing out of his zone right now. He just needs to calm down, let the game come to him. Maybe it's the target center. I'm not sure, but he's all over the court right now, not really playing his style.
This will be the last Minnesota team that Rice Lake faces this season. As we mentioned, they opened the season at Minnetonka in the Tip-Off Classic. That was actually the girls' event, but over the years they've added a few boys' games to boost attendance, and so a lot of the top boys' teams often play the nightcaps. Marty Hill, too strong from three-point range, and the rebound by Andrew Shiro, number 30. Ben Wittes. Finds an open Aanenson. Elevation and the two-fisted slam.
That's high percentage.
I heard that one all the way from Wasau. Marty Hill loses control but hangs on to it, so no turnover for the Rebels. Champlin Park in the Northwest Suburban Conference. And an offensive foul against Theo John. He makes the elbow.
This crowd is into it.
Oh, this is the first game with a true fan section. And you normally see this at state tournament games because everybody wants to show up. For some, they get to miss a day of school.
Yeah, of course.
That's a big draw. But to come here for this T-Wolves shootout, here's Wittes with the pump fake and the drive. Blocked but fouled on the way up, so he'll shoot two.
Strong take.
You don't see too many student sections for these Timberwolves shootout games, and that surprises me a little bit, considering how prestigious this event is.
Yeah, and especially since there's Minnesota teams all over there's fans coming out, so they should be wild up every game.
The crowds aren't as large as a few years ago when Tyus Jones graced us from Apple Valley, but that's okay. Wittes misses the front end. Wittes averaging 6.3 points per game, and they can look at this drop-off. Henry Aanenson with 30 points per game. The next highest score for Rice Lake is Andrew Mattis with 6.8. The 48 points that Aanenson scored to start the season was a season high. No one else has scored more than 11 in a game. Wittes splits. Both teams are 1 of 2 from the free throw line to start things off. Marty Hill from 16. That's short. Offensive rebound. Count it. And the foul. McKinley Wright.
Huge play. That's why you crashed the boards. It's tough. Oh, wow. He got up.
McKinley Wright make this a three-point play. McKinley Wright and Theo John both being recruited at the Division I level, and Wright leading the team in rebounds, assists, and steals. Completes the three-point play. And he has 5 of Champlin Park's 6 points. Aanenson out to Wittes, pump fakes the 3. Long deuce, swish. Wittes up to 3 points.
He's comfortable taking that shot. You're gonna let him take that, he'll do it all day.
Now, did you have a chance to see any of these guys on tape?
Yeah, I studied Aanenson and his the teammates around him. Nobody really popped.
Bullseye, JT Gibson. Did you study him on tape?
Just him. Yeah, he popped out on me. He's got massive potential. I'm
Gibson?
talking Mason Plumlee type body.
Wittes has it, skip pass, and the three-pointer is short from 32 Mattis. But he follows his own rebound, and now the baseline J is no good. Aanenson tried to corral it, unable to do so. Marty Hill fakes the pass, comes up short. McKinley Wright can't put it in. Tough break for the Rebels. Outlet pass to Wittes, and he can't finish either. Aanenson had a beautiful setup.
Great pass.
Jeremy Johnson now. Back at the top of the key. Thinking about it. Now, Champlin Park is a high-scoring offensive team. And Jeremy Johnson with the pull-up J. It is not uncommon for Champlin Park to threaten 90 points. They have done so 6 times this season.
That's a lot of points.
Wittes to Shiro. Mattis left alone. Tried the entry pass inside to Ellison. When you're open like that, I know sometimes you want to run your sets, but I've never complained about an open shot.
Nope. If you're open, the coach say, pull it. No matter who you are.
Reminder, you can order this game on DVD at streampower.com, and a nice inbound play, Aanenson with the second basket of the game. 11-7 the score in favor of the Rebels. McKinley Wright going coast to coast, but he gets washed up. Aanenson, you see Champlin Park swarming him right away. That leaves it open. Shiro on the back door. And Shiro says, I'll step inside. And that's his first basket. Great start to this game, very competitive.
Now they're moving up and down the court very well. It's a turnover
JT
right
Gibson,
there.
though, with an unforced turnover.
Look for Aanenson to be more of a better passer, because they're double teaming him every time he touches the ball. So it's going to be key on if he can make the right play. Because getting a shot up is not his. He can get a shot up at any time he wants, you know.
Aanenson attacking the baseline. Loses the handle. He had about 4 Champlin Park players surrounding him. And Rebels will hang on to it.
Aanenson's looking for a foul. The ref's not having it.
And I spoke with Mark Tushirer, the Champlin Park head coach, and he said Henry Aanenson is going to score. We cannot prevent that, but we can neutralize his explosiveness. And so far, every time he touches the ball, you see 3 or 4 Champlin Park jerseys converge on his position. Jeremy Johnson swishes the 3. Jeremy Johnson, the twin brother of Jonathan Johnson. Vital roles for Champlin Park. And Jeremy Johnson up to 5. Foul, and the harm. And the hoop, I should say. Harm and the hoop, count it, and 1. Any way you slice it, number 24 for Rice Lake, Hunter Ashland gets on the board.
That's a great screen, high ball screen. He just read it perfectly. You took it to the hoop. Fundamental right there. Great finish.
Hunter Ashland averaging 3.7 points per game. You know what I'm missing from those graphics is the typefaces the ESPN uses.
Yeah.
Our graphics are inspired by ESPN.
ESPN.
Hey, go big or go home, right?
Yeah, I'm not plugging them. I'm not.
Ashland missing the 3-point play, but Wittes comes up with a steal from behind. And Rice Lake making a very tough challenge in their second team from Minnesota. Aanenson, there you see the double team right away. That leaves an open Hode. And he can't put down the 17-footer, but the offensive rebound by Ashland. 3 on the way from Wittes. That's strong. And the rebound by number 10, Nick Hayes, for the Rebels. 3 on the way. No good. Aanenson with the rebound. And a timeout call by Rice Lake. Going to be hard to stop Aanenson when he stands 6'10". 14-11. Let's take some time to thank our sponsors, presuming we have them, and we do. One of them is Anoka Ramsey. Anoka Ramsey is dedicated to responding to the educational needs of its changing communities and providing opportunities for enhancing knowledge, skill, and values in a supportive learning environment. Anoka Ramsey Community College, more than a college. And the Urgency Room. When you need immediate medical care, get to the Urgency Room with locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Vadnais Heights. They'll have you in fast and home soon. Go to the Urgency Room at urgencyroom.com. Let's take a look at one of our last plays here. That was Jeremy Johnson coming up empty there. Here's Aanenson with the highlight play so far in the first 8 minutes of this contest. It's fun to look at some of these plays. Entertains our audience. It kind of gives you a summary of what's happened. And we're back to action here. Ben Wittes has the ball, so let's see if we can get back into it. There we go. Notice how much power I have. Ashlyn missing the three-pointer. I say things, and the production crew responds.
He's the guy.
Here we go! But Jeremy Johnson could not complete the alley-oop. JT Gibson's pass was a little high.
Speaking of he's the guy, don't forget to tweet you at The Sports Brain.
The Sports Brain, if you want to get in touch with me there. Response has been light, but that's all right. I certainly will accept them afterward if you watch this on demand. Aanenson cuts inside. The entry pass came from nowhere, but he had a tough angle to work with. Here is JT Gibson. Pulls up. Bullseye. JT Gibson with a pair of trays.
I love his game. He's very good catch and shoot player, moves well without the ball. He does it all for this team.
Rebels up 17-11 over the Warriors. Ashlyn for three, short. And the rebound to Marty Hill. Hill sees a lane, and he's left all alone, and he couldn't put it in. The paint was open, and he couldn't put it down.
That was like the sea parted.
That's a gimme. Aanenson for three. Yes!
He can do that. He can hit the shot.
That 48-point game we talked about could have been 60 if he wasn't contested so much. In the scouting report provided to us by the Timberwolves staff, and again, a very dedicated group. Traveling violation, Theo John stepped a little too much to maneuver around Aanenson.
He took extra. It's a very, very good game so far. I like both teams, how they come out. Aanenson is proven that he is worthy of a top 5 ESPN rank.
And Aanenson, we mentioned he was contested. He still made 20 of 35 shots in the game with Minnetonka. That's not a bad percentage. And Champlin Park just missing these bunnies. They do get the cleanup, though, as Marty Hill penetrated through an open lane. Aanenson used the Euro step and draws the blocking foul. I thought he leapt a little too early, and I thought Champlin Park was going to get a stop out of this, and they bail him out.
He was trying to go up like Blake Griffin, man. He took off. He took off way. He can do it all, though. He can run the floor. He can rebound.
He's not wearing a Clippers jersey, though.
He can step out, hit the three. He's got a true all-around game.
Aanenson, 30.1 per game. Already has 7.
And he is their post presence. He's their post presence. He's their everything for them inside. So if he's not inside, look for Champlin Park to take advantage of that.
Jeremy Johnson returns for Champlin Park.
And they've been missing some point-blank layups so far at Champlin Park.
And their lead could be larger if they put those in. Marty Hill, top of the key, kicks out to Gibson for three. Yes! JT Gibson, 3 triples in the early going.
Marty Hill is a very good passer. He can make some better choices sometimes here, but he's a very good passer when he's got the ball. They're crisp, they're in the shooting motion, they're not down in a way.
Wittes in the corner. Doesn't see an opening, so he'll back out. Displaying his agility there. Wittes kicks out to an open Mattis. Off the mark, but the offensive rebound by Shiro. He's got an open look, off the window and in. Shiro with 4. This game very tight. Champlin Park leading 22-17 with 6 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the first half. Right. Fake the drive. Now kicks out. Hill looking for it. No. Johnson curls, fires. No bounce, Ellenson with the rebound. And they'll run a set here. Tim Layton, by the way, this is the second game he's officiated this week. He was on hand for the North-South game that I taped for inclusion in our feature story tonight on Tyler Johnson. North won that game 72-51, undefeated in Minneapolis City Conference play. Steal by number 13 for Champlin Park. That is Jonathan Johnson, the twin brother of Jeremy Johnson, and a missed long distance shot. Scramble for the rebound, and it goes to Rice Lake. Andrew Mattis scrapping it.
Good ball defense by Champlin Park.
Wittes. No, but a dead ball rebound to the Warriors. And Ashland will go back
Rice
in.
Lake work, and that's what you want.
Nick Hay is also going in for the Rebels. Rice Lake played a game with Hudson last night. We didn't get those results. Had a 5-game winning streak after losing to Minnetonka. Lost their last 2 in a holiday tournament. And a corner triple for Andrew Shiro. And Rice Lake and Kevin Orr have to be liking the production they're getting outside of Ellenson. That is going to be key today. McKinley Wright has been penetrating the lane all day.
Great take.
But if Rice Lake can find points outside of Ellenson, that's going to open things up for him. Missing the three-pointer was Luke Lammer, or no, Parker Buckley.
Oh!
But a highlight play on the other end from Jeremy Johnson. That puts him up to 7.
Great concentration at the rim to get that for the and one bucket.
Jeremy and Jonathan Johnson, not only basketball stars, but track stars as well. Jeremy won the state high jump as a junior and finished 3rd in the as a sophomore at the state track meet. And he's getting some looks at Division I schools known for their track background. Makes the three-point play here. And you can see that speed in his play today.
How many times you see this? A 6'10 gentleman getting the ball to take it up court.
Well, and we've seen that. The stretch fours, we call them. Those centers who can play more of a post position. That's a tough foul to take if you're Jeremy Johnson. It looked like Ellenson may have been the aggressor there, but that's the last foul to give for Champlin Park. Champlin Park, we mentioned their explosive offense. They've scored 90 points 6 times, averaging 88 points a game. Opponents are scoring just 53.
You have a point differential like that, your record's
You're going to win a few games. They've had some close ones, though, against the top teams in the state, and they've emerged victorious in all of them. And that's going to get you the #1 ranking. Ellenson.
Oh.
That was a tough shot. Tried to Kobe Bryant that one in, but and a traveling violation on Jeremy Johnson. Champlin Park, the transition game, they have moments where they're brilliant and moments that are baffling.
Yeah, they've done that a couple times today where Rice Lake has had a turnover, then they come right back to the same exact next possession and turn right over.
Wittes kicks out. And there's Buckley, back to Wittes. Good passing here by the Warriors. Well, that pass was deflected. That's very difficult to pass in traffic. And coming up with a steal is Detrice Mosumo, #2. Johnson switches the deuce. And Johnson up to 10 points.
He's on it today.
Ellenson has it. And the Champlin Park fans still harassing him about that air ball from earlier. Buckley is open. He'll take it. And he'll drain it. Give him 3.
I think the refs just missed a travel, but that's not my job. That's theirs.
Well, Buckley gets on the board. 29-23. Again, Ellenson, not a strong scoring effort from him yet, but he's getting help, and that is crucial. Marty Hill. Juking. Went one-on-one with Buckley, and the dead ball rebound to Rice Lake. Always tough to do when you're unable to shake your defender.
Yeah, very tough. Force a shot. That's.
Timeout, Rice Lake. This gives us a chance to thank our sponsors again. And they'll come up on our screen anytime. We'll start with Anoka Technical. Anoka Technical provides the opportunity and the tools to get our dream on track. Get an associate degree helping you toward a 4-year degree. Anoka Technical has 35 career programs to help you achieve your dreams. Accident, sports injury, or just not feeling well? Don't wait. Get to the urgency room in Eagan, Woodbury, or Van Ness Heights. Go to urgencyroom.com to view wait times and to check in online. And you mentioned it in the last game. They do handle cases with urgency.
Very good. Take care of you like they knew you for a while. And if you got something wrong with you, go there right now. Get on it.
Finish our game first, then go to the urgency room.
Of course, finish our game.
Finish our game, watch Minnesota Prep Spotlight. Well, you'll have enough time in between.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Back to action here. 3:35 left in the first half and counting. For Rice Lake, Ellenson leading with 8 points, but as we mentioned, getting support. Shiro has 7. To highlight that, and a few others have chipped in. That's going to be key. Parker Buckley, he's open again, but he can't put it in. Ellenson using the 6'10 frame to his advantage, and he breaks double digits. We saw a player with a similar build in our first game of the day with Apple Valley and Brock Bertram, and we see a bullseye for J.T. Gibson. 4 trays now for the senior.
JT, line it up.
Nebraska Omaha is going to get a long-distance sniper to their roster.
They got to love it.
Champlin Park going for the steal, was not successful. Here's Buckley. He'll go back to Wittes, and Rice Lake will run another half-court set. Ellenson in trouble, and he's stripped of the ball. May have been hurt on that play. Jeremy Johnson on the other end for the fast break deuce. And Champlin Park with the largest lead of the game, 34-25 with 2:22 left. And a technical foul, I believe, has been called. No, an intentional foul away from the basket, an intentional foul on Henry Ellenson.
Wow, you rarely see that.
I don't know if we got that on camera. I didn't see it from here. It was away from the ball.
Wait.
Well, the intentional foul, no, is on Champlin Park. There was a little bit of confusion there. So an intentional foul called on Champlin Park. I don't know if we have it on camera. Well, it was. They said Ellenson on the PA, and now we're getting things straightened out.
Mixed up.
Let's see here. They called it on Well, there's a look at. Well, that's the steal that led to the basket for Jeremy Johnson. Ellenson picking up his 3rd personal foul. I don't know if we got a shot of the intentional foul here, but Gibson gets 2 free throws. He misses the first, 2 free throws and the ball. J.T. Gibson recently scored his 1,000th career point, one of only 3 Champlin Park players to break 4 digits. And he did so in their win over Apple Valley on December 27th, getting 38 points, 7 of 12 from 3-point range.
After the intentional foul, possession belongs to Champlin.
That was a huge play by Ellenson. Now you see
he picks up his 3rd foul, and
foul.
Champlin Park gets the ball after the intentional foul.
Yeah, exactly. 10-point lead. Now he's on the bench. Now who do you turn to if you're Rice Lake?
This is gut check time for the Warriors. Ashland tried the bounce pass, and when you don't have that big body to go to, jump ball, who has the possession arrow? Rice Lake does. Again, we do not have the possession arrow graphic here, with this building normally being used for professional games.
The big boys.
3 on the way, but Shiro couldn't put it down. Champlin Park looking to run again. We said get out and run is their key, and McKinley Wright with a fast break layup. Champlin Park extending their largest lead of the game. It's now 12, 37-25, with 1:43 to go in the first. Shiro thought about it. Elbow, swish for Andrew Mattis. 37-27 our score now. We'll try to get that back up on screen for you. 1:23 left. And just as I say that, it does go back up. Like I said, we are very powerful people here in the booth. We say things and they happen. Marty Hill with the rock, pulls up for three, and that's off the heel. But leaping up for the O-board, and the putback is McKinley Wright.
He's got a lot of energy. High energy player. I like it.
Well, he leads the team in rebounds. I suppose that includes a few offensive boards as well. Rebels up by 12. Pass is deflected, and that's going to be going to Champlin Park. Gibson all alone. Not quite the vertical to dunk it, but 2 points still counts as two, no matter how you put it in. And Gibson's up to 15. 30 seconds. Ashland. Cross-court pass. Wittes for three. Short. McKinley Wright has it. He has numbers again.
Oh!
Tried behind the back, and Wittes was ready for it. Steals it away. Wittes with the touch. And the finish for number 52, Kyle Croteau. 10 seconds ago, though. Champlin Park will have one more shot at this. 3 seconds. They got to hurry. Jeremy Johnson. That's good if it goes. Off the heel, no good. Marty Hill couldn't put it in, but Champlin Park getting Aanenson in early foul trouble, taking a 41-29 lead as we enter halftime intermission. Our halftime show is coming up next. This is the 19th annual Minnesota Timberwolves Shootout on Minnesota Prep Spotlight.
You're watching the 2015 Timberwolves Shootout, brought to you by School Space Media and Stream Powered Productions. This game is brought to you in part by Anoka Ramsey Community College and Anoka Technical. It's more than a college. It's a community dedicated to your success. And by the Urgency Room. With locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Badness Heights, they'll have you in fast and home soon. Go to the Urgency Room. The halftime show is coming up next.
We're doing pretty good on 22.
And Don Ackerman has Mark
defense.
Teixeira.
We're giving them up.
Pretty good fan section here.
Yeah, we got a great section. CP6, man. They're the best in the state.
That's right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
A shortened halftime intermission to try to get this game in so the NBA players can take part. We'll come back here at our halftime show. We have a few features we can run, and I know Don Ackerman got some interviews. We'll play one of the. We're going to play a feature. Well, I knew we had something, so here's a feature story from our Minnesota Prep Spotlight show, which you can watch Saturday nights at 11. Check it out.
In 2006, Allie Thunstrom left North St. Paul High School as the Miss Hockey Award winner and headed to Boston College as a puck superstar. Known for her speed, she excelled at the collegiate level, then finished her playing career with a stint on the U.S. national team. Now the accomplished standout has come home, lending her experience to a new generation of pullers.
It's been awesome. I mean, this is my home, away from home, always growing up. Spent 5 years on the high school team. Some of my greatest memories, so it's really awesome to come back and relive everything and then try to get this generation of kids to have the same experiences that I had.
Allie's experiences may have been elite, and it's those opportunities that have given her the passion to give back, even if some challenges come along with it.
There's a much smaller youth program right now, especially on the girls' side. They're co-opted with 3 or 4 different communities, so I mean there's not the large player pool that we had when I was here.
Thunstrom is coaching just 26 kids between the JV and varsity. 8 have never played hockey before, and that lends to getting back to the basics.
Last year we were playing in a tournament and I was on the bench for the JV game, and I was telling them you got to get in front of the crease and get in the goalie's way to, you know, screen a shot. And one girl came and tapped me on the shoulder. She goes, "Is the crease that little blue area, or where are you talking?"
That player was Marissa Jansen. Jansen now has suited up for varsity, and her friend and captain Lily Langevin couldn't have been happier as she's seen her grow.
It was so fun. She was always just so positive on the bench and always saying good comments when we'd come off, and we even got to play together.
Fun because that's the culture Allie has created. And now fun for her may not be counted by goals and wins, but by relationships and life lessons. And that may mean more to those who have been given that opportunity.
Seriously, it's so fun, and you have to play because there's no I'm not good enough when you're playing JV hockey. There's by the middle of the season or towards the end of the season, you're going to be good enough, and it's going to be fun.
And in the end, even though the kids may be more familiar with the clothesline than a blue line, she wants them to leave knowing one important fact.
That every kid enjoyed their time, that each and every kid walks out of the locker room on the last day and wishes they had another day.
And having another day may be just why Allie came back home.
Westbrook and Durant.
And that was our feature on North St. Paul girls hockey, trying to get their program established. You don't see too many female coaches in girls hockey, and there was an expose about that printed in one of the local papers. Mike Peden here and Andrew Aanenson bringing you the coverage of Champlin Park and Rice Lake in the last game of our 19th annual Timberwolves Shootout here at Target Center. And Don Ackerman has another sideline report coming your way. Let's go down to him.
We just started that the beginning of December for all our pregame youth games that we have at Target Center each night before every Wolves game. So just an awesome extra added incentive for the kids.
So today for the shootout, we've got lights out, and we're getting the announcing, and they're getting the NBA experience. But that happens with every camp, every kid camp that comes here, every group that comes in and plays ball.
Yep, every youth game that we have down here, mostly 4th through 8th graders, they get that experience all the time. Gatorade on the benches, announced lineups, lights out. We provide the officials the whole 9 yards. So
that sounds pretty amazing. I love this NBA experience. How do you sign up for something like this?
Yep, it's basically just contacting usually myself, because I'm the sales manager for our basketball academy, and all it is just buying tickets to that night's Wolves game and booking a open slot that we have available before a Wolves game. So pretty simple.
So you can play on the court where the Lynx or the Wolves play, and you get the full experience.
Absolutely, play where the pros play. That's what we call it. So
that's awesome. Thanks, Matt.
Yep, you bet. Thank you.
Thank you, Don Ackerman. You get a look at the Champlin Park team holding that 41-29 lead. J.T. Gibson with 15 points to lead all scorers. Jeremy Johnson has 12. McKinley Wright has 11. But we're going to take a quick break and discuss more first half stats. Let's thank our sponsors first. This is the 19th annual Timberwolves Shootout.
Who cares what it holds if it can't hold your gaze? Who cares how tight it can turn if it can't turn heads? Who cares how capable it is if it's incapable of creating a reaction? Any SUV can move something, but can it move you? Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Get the best values at Village Chevrolet. Village Chevrolet has the largest selection of the new 2015 Tahoe and Suburban models in the Twin Cities. Visit villagechev.com. Chevrolet, find new roads.
And there you see Rice Lake taking the floor. We mentioned Champlin Park scoring before we went to our sponsor advertisements. Rice Lake, Henry Ellenson with 10 points, Andrew Shearer with 7 points. Those are your notables. And if we go back to the keys to the game, Champlin Park, their top key was containing Henry Ellenson. 10 points and 3 fouls, I'd say, is pretty good through 18 minutes. And getting out and running, the transition game nearly flawless for Champlin Park. They missed a few bunnies early on, but still pushing the ball at their pace.
Yeah, their energy is overwhelming Rice Lake right now. They just moving up and down the court on offense and defense, doing this, it's like a mirror image of what they do on offense and defense. Rice Lake really doesn't have an answer for it. They're moving the ball, like you said, Johnson, Gibson, Marty Hill, they're all getting involved.
And Rice Lake will want to work on that transition defense if they wish to stop Champlin Park. They trail by 12. If Rice Lake or Champlin Park can hold on, it will mark 2 consecutive years where Minnesota teams emerge victorious in Timberwolves shootout games in such matchups. Last year we had Lakeville North and Grand Rapids, so that was an in-state meeting, but Apple Valley won last year, beating Blue Valley Northwest. De La Salle beat St. Rita. As Champlin Park gets the ball to start the second half, and Durham Hall defeated Bettendorf. And you just saw our coverage today. Apple Valley crushed their opponent rather convincingly, Omaha Central. And Dio John couldn't finish there, but they crashed the offensive side of the glass. John gets another try, no. Third try, and that goes in for JT Gibson.
Hustle points right there. You love seeing that.
So Apple Valley beating Omaha Central, Cretin beating North Scott, De La Salle defeating Morgan Park. If Champlin Park hangs on here, it will be 7 consecutive games in the Timberwolves shootout where Minnesota teams beat their out-of-state competition.
That's impressive, Minnesota's basketball.
That's going to be a foul on McKinley Wright. That will be his first. Now, the statistic is more academic than anything else because the matchups change every year based on who the pulsating teams are around the area. We had, at least at the start of the season, the top 3 teams in 4A and the top team in 3A, and again, that changes every year. But we've said this before, the T-Wolves shootout often a barometer of how Minnesota teams fare against competition from around the region. Nice ball movement, and the floater for Mattis, hitting that from about 8 feet out. Jeremy Johnson driving and beats Andrew Mattis. Again, he's got track speed.
Yeah, I love his game. He can shoot the ball, he can drive it.
Wittes, actually that was Shiro, but the foul before the basket. So Rice Lake will side out with 16-19 left in the second half.
Champlin Park foul number 4, Jeremy Johnson.
Ben Wittes will inbound the ball. He has 3 points, just 1 field goal. And the steal by Jeremy Johnson. And Wittes returns the favor. Pulls up, but is short. Shiro is there. And Marty Hill with the disruption. Now he has it. Floats it to an open Theo John, and he rises up for the slam. That is Theo John's first field goal, and John averaging 8.9 a game. Wittes faking the drive. Now he's open from the corner. Well, he was for a moment. He'll have to kick back out. Mattis, no. And the rebound by John. Jeremy Johnson, long distance, can't connect. He'll count it.
They're all over the glass, picking up from when they left off in the first half. They're just overwhelming Rice Lake.
Marty Hill and Detrice Masumo, who you saw earlier on the floor, along with Nick Hayes on Champlin Park, all members of the football team.
Oh. Maybe that's where the hustling comes from.
Marty Hill missing the free throw.
I want better spacing from Rice Lake. Let's see if they can get their spacing down, because they just been, looks like the lanes have just been blocked.
And you look at all the bodies clogging Aanenson. Well, there's a high-low play, and he throws it away. They got Aanenson out of position. JT Gibson pulls up, drains the baseline J.
They just got too much.
Gibson with 19 points, and we're going to have a timeout here for Rice Lake, as this lead is now ballooned to 21, 52-31 with 14:46 left in the second half. Let's thank our sponsors one more time. Which one will come first? It's Anoka Ramsey. Anoka Ramsey Community College brings you closer to career growth, earning potential and confidence. A college education is an investment in you. Pursue your passion at Anoka Ramsey Community College, Coon Rapids or Cambridge campuses. And the Urgency Room. When minutes matter, there's no need to wait. Visit the Urgency Room for a better ER experience. With locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Madness Heights to have you in and out fast. The Urgency Room at urgencyroom.com. And don't forget to watch our show, Minnesota Prep Spotlight. You can see our newest episode tonight at 11 p.m. on KSTC Channel 45. And if you don't get 45 TV in your area, you can watch on demand right here at schoolspacemedia.tv. We usually post the episodes on the same weekend after they air.
So there's no way you should miss it. No excuses.
And we have features on Louis Gwynn from Chanhassen, the skier, who's doing big things for the Storm, and Tyler Johnson, Minneapolis North's architect, scoring over 1,000 points this week and could get an offer out of football or basketball. He took the football team to the state semifinals last year for Minneapolis, or this fall for Minneapolis North. Ellenson, that was a tough runner, but Shiro was there. Now Ellenson with an opening. I think he tried to draw the foul. Well, he does, and he'll shoot 2. I thought Ellenson could have just went to the glass with that.
Yeah, I thought he could too.
And the Rebel fans are having some fun here.
And that's got to give your team energy, fans screaming like that.
Well, to come out here for this event, it's Saturday. These are daytime games. Ellenson making the front end. Champlin Park playing at more reasonable slot, but you have those 9:15 games. But to get your fans to come out and support you, that has to mean a lot for the Rebels. Ellenson making both free throws. And they're going to need to get a big game out of him soon if Rice Lake wants to claw their way back. Theo John. And
What a take.
Ellenson had to ease up. Remember, he has 3 fouls, so Theo John had an uninterrupted sail to the hoop. And
Yeah,
it's up to 5.
Strong man's game right there.
Wittes bouncing over to 12. And Eric Ho with his first basket. McKinley Wright hit with the offensive foul. Holt got himself set up in time.
That was a very good play by Holt.
And that's what Rice Lake is going to need. They're going to need some stops and try to get a run going. I'm curious if they're going to look to involve Ellenson in this offense or if they're going to continue to spread the ball as they did in the first half. Because before Champlin Park went on their run, Rice Lake was doing a great job in distribution.
Yeah, they were. They were spreading the ball around. Everyone was touching it at least once per possession.
Rice Lake missed the elbow jumper, and then Buckley tipped it off of Marty Hill. Hill couldn't control it, so a dead ball offensive rebound for Rice Lake. Ben Wittes. Nope, Ellenson will inbound. Ashland to Ellenson for 3. Bullseye.
He's got a sweet stroke.
He's up to 15. The only Rice Lake player in double digits. Theo John, turnaround. Ellenson blocks him out that time. Dead ball rebound to Champlin Park.
That was good recovery by Ellenson. Theo John out-muscled him down on the post, and he recovered great and forced a miss.
That was a key fight, and the key matchup, I should say. John against Ellenson, and John perhaps winning that battle in terms of foul trouble.
Sweet pass
both have 3. And Champlin Park comes up empty. Rice Lake trying to work their way out of this 21-point deficit. Wittes thought about it, goes inside to Ellenson instead. And Theo John swats it away. But the weak side rebound, no putback. Players collide to the floor. Champlin Park escapes. Alley-oops.
Alley-oops. Oopsie daisy.
Marty Hill couldn't put it in. So Rice Lake dodging the proverbial bullet. Ellenson has it. Backs off to Ashland. Ashland, baseline drive. What a nice cut. And the layup was just a little too strong from number 14. Ellenson with the steal. All right, Rice Lake getting the stops here on defense, but they need to convert that into offense. They want to come back here with 12:15 to go. Five-second violation on Aanenson. Number 14 for the Warriors is Brian Smith. And another timeout, 54-38 our score in favor of Champlin Park. Rice Lake not able to control themselves offensively. Let's do another sponsor, Reed. We want to thank them for their support.
Fans in earlier action today at the
We'll start with Anoka Technical. Anoka Technical College provides technical training and degrees to help you achieve your dreams. Programs bring you closer to career growth, earning potential and confidence. Innovative educators, experts in their career fields, Anoka Technical College. And the, well, Minnesota Prep Spotlight. They caught me there. The most comprehensive high school sports show in Minnesota on TV and online. Join Tori Holt and Chrissy Wendell for Minnesota Prep Spotlight on 45 TV every Saturday night at 11 p.m. and watch our shows on demand at schoolspacemedia.tv. That's KSTC 45 5.2 on the over-the-air channel and wherever KSTC happens to be if you subscribe to another package.
Sorry, folks, that is not Torrey Holt, the wide receiver.
No, not for the Rams.
Sorry,
Torrey Holt did confirm this. His favorite NFL player is Torrey Holt.
Oh!
Although our Torrey Holt is a slightly older one.
Yeah.
But the other one won a Super Bowl in '99 with the greatest show on turf.
And they were pretty to watch.
Well, there's a battle right now, whether they'll go to St. Louis or Los Angeles.
Oh!
And Theo John winning that battle in the post. Theo John up to 7. Great play for Champlin Park out of the timeout. Smith going to Aanenson. Aanenson out to Wittes. Hesitated. I thought he had a look from three-point range, but passes it up. Wittes now from the left corner. Drives and lays it in. Now we're going to see the same element here for Rice Lake depending on this margin that we saw out of Morgan Park. The extra 4 minutes that we play here. Wittes with the steal. Remember, every other state plays the 8-minute quarters. Minnesota plays 18-minute halves. 4 extra minutes of game time.
Yeah, that's very underrated. That can take a toll on the body.
Not to mention, this floor is longer than most high schools.
Oh!
Aanenson, Theo John almost had a highlight-worthy rejection, but he's called for contact. Let's take a look.
Rebel foul number 3,
That, if I
they
don't know.
They called the foul on that?
That is a very tough call. And we have the benefit of replay. The refs have to make those calls in real time. I think Aanenson was given a gift there.
Yeah, I think he was. You're right, Mike.
But as we said, we have the benefit of the second look. The officials don't.
We're not the refs, so.
Well, and you got to play through it. No matter what happens, you're not going to have the perfect game. Officials, they may make a mistake. The players may make mistakes. You cannot let that overwhelm you. Yeah. Aanenson makes both free throws. We haven't had many of them today in this game so far. And Aanenson up to 17 points, but his Rice Lake team is trailing by 14.
I love Aanenson's demeanor. He was barking back at Champlin Park there. He's not, they ain't gonna go down easy. 20-point lead it's cut to 14 now.
And Kevin Orr is gonna call timeout with 10:44 left. And we'll pause momentarily. This is the 19th annual Timberwolves Shootout on School Space Media.
Who cares what it holds if it can't hold your gaze? Who cares how tight it can turn if it can't turn heads? Who cares how capable it is if it's incapable of creating a reaction? Any SUV can move something, but can it move you? Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Here as we take a look at some highlights, and we mentioned Champlin Park's undefeated run and the tough opponents they've defeated along the way. Let's take a look at a few of those. The second game of the season, they defeated Hopkins on the road 90-86. Hopkins Dealing with some injuries, though. They lost Amir Coffey to the year with an ACL tear. They beat Cretin-Durham Hall, a team we saw earlier this afternoon, 65-62. At the Breakdown Tip-Off Classic in Minnetonka. In December, they defeated Apple Valley by 5. And they also beat Roseville with their standout Kobe Critchley by 10. And Aanenson buries a 3.
He's caught fire.
He's up to 20. The next big test for Champlin Park will be Robbinsdale Armstrong, another top 10 team in the 4A field. And making his first appearance for the Rebels is number 11, Aaron Klepner.
I like the defense right now by Rice Lake. They're switching at a high pace.
They forced the long shot that's short, and Aanenson with the rebound, outlet pass to Ashland. Goodbye.
What a pass, Kevin Love.
That was reminiscent of the former Minnesota Timberwolf. Maybe we'll see that out of Andrew Wiggins someday. Jeremy Johnson can't roll it in. Aanenson with the rebound. Rice Lake has this within single digits. A quick 5-point burst here. Aanenson again. And Buckley goes up and is hacked.
Allenson's taking over the game right now. That was an unbelievable pass.
Actually, that was Luke Lammers. Or yes, Parker Buckley. I get my names crossed sometimes. Parker Buckley, just 3.7 points per game, but has a chance to make this a 7-point game if he can make both.
That sounds like a basketball name, Parker Buckley.
And Champlin Park now out of fouls to give. So Rice Lake will be in the bonus for the final 9:28.
That's huge. Half of the half.
A quarter of the game, roughly. Yeah. But down by 9, that's a lot of time and not much ground to make up. But Parker ends up in Park. And the Champlin Park fans letting him know it.
You let the whole team down. Oh.
My favorite was the Central-South rivalry in girls basketball. Jeremy Johnson with the elbow, and he puts it in. Johnson with 16. The Central-South rivalry, you had the 612, 651, the area codes, and the lower bowl for the 4A final was filled both years. And Aanenson is filling his bucket with triples.
Stroking it!
58-50. Aanenson up to 23 points. 13 points this half. Johnson for the answer. Rims it in. Jeremy Johnson with 19. And the big difference is the scoring. Aanenson has 23, but no other Rice Lake player in double digits. Champlin Park has 3 of them. Wright, Gibson, and Johnson. Buckley came up short. I don't know if that was the design play. McKinley Wright can execute the transition game. Here's Marty Hill.
Money.
Back. Champlin Park up by 14. Marty Hill with his first triple. And with the wins that Champlin Park has accumulated, they're going to get a lot of respect in the 4A field. I mean, yes, you think of Hopkins, Lakeville, Apple Valley, they're still in contention. There's another steal. And Johnson, an inadvertent traveling violation. But all the wins that Champlin Park has registered, if they can get out of their section, they're going to be a very dangerous team in the state tournament.
Yeah, they're putting together a very good season so far. And the showing right now is just topping the cap.
Rice Lake, they need some points, and they need them in a hurry. Ashland kicks out. Three-pointer is short, but Aanenson with the rebound, swarmed by 3 Champlin Park players. That's going to leave Hod open, and he misses the triple. And the rebound goes to Jeremy Johnson.
JT.
Carrying violation.
Carrying the ball. Possession, Rice Lake.
So 2 straight turnovers for Champlin Park.
Champlin Park, also academically sound, averaging just over 3.0 GPA. That's respectable. And Aanenson is averaging about 30 points this half, it seems like it.
He's on a roll, boy.
15 points in the second half and a chance for 3.
Nice.
Remember, Rice Lake in the bonus. And the attempt to distract him from the Champlin Park fans was unsuccessful.
He's smooth at that line.
He's up to 26. And Aanenson is a 5-star recruit according to Rivals.com. We have a foul on the other side of the floor here. Aanenson also strong on the glass, of course, being 6'10", you'd expect that. Averaging a double-double this season.
And he can do it all. Very impressive.
Substitution. The foul was on Eric Hovde. Rice Lake has several fouls to give, which could end up being problematic if they want to work their way back because they'd have to get a bunch in a hurry. Well, they're going to, but not the way they wanted. JT Gibson with the N1.
Yeah, the leading candidate, most people say, for Mr. Minnesota. JT.
One of them. Of course, it's tough to say at this point of the season who will get Mr. Basketball. But JT Gibson making a case here as he's up to 22 points.
Mr. Basketball.
It's hard to imagine just 3 players in Champlin Park history. Aanenson.
What a finish.
And reverse style alley-oop, but it goes in, and he's up to 28. But it's hard to imagine 3 Champlin Park players, only 3 of them have scored 1,000. When you consider all the 1,000-point scores that have graced us in the state of Minnesota. Gibson kicks out to Kleppner. That's long, and the rebound by Shiro. Rice Lake can still pull back. Buckley with the skip. And they'll back off and try again. Shiro. He'll launch and hit for 3. Shiro up to 10. And it's a 9-point game again.
That's his shot.
Timeout. Champlin Park, 5:36 left in regulation. They lead 67-58, but Rice Lake continuing to be a pestering threat across the border. You can order this game on DVD at Stream Powered Productions. Visit us at streampowered.com. And don't forget, just because our coverage will end after this game, Stream Powered isn't. You can catch their live streams of Concordia basketball throughout the winter season. And let's take a look at our show since we're plugging Zach's company here, Minnesota Prep Spotlight. Every week on Minnesota Prep Spotlight, you see more highlights from every sport and great feature stories on Minnesota Prep athletes. Chrissy Wendell and Tori Holt host the weekly show on 45 TV at 11 p.m. on Saturdays and on demand at schoolspacemedia.tv. And don't forget, I edit the show. So I know what goes on behind the scenes, and that plug is true to its word.
Let's go do it right after set.
Every Friday, 26:25. We got to meet that deadline, or beat that time limit, 26:25.
26:25.
How many shows fit all of that in 26 minutes? Most shows are 22. We give you an extra 4 minutes. I've shared a lot of feature stories on the show during the basketball season. Got a lot of great stories, and there's a few more coming our way. There might be a few out of this. Champlin Park, it's McKinley Wright, beats Ellison to the hoop. And McKinley Wright and Champlin Park in general are extraordinary in getting plays off of timeouts.
Yeah, they're really good at driving the basket. Their only post presence for Rice Lake is Aanenson. So it's going to be very difficult to beat a team like Champlin Park.
You've got a few 6'2 guys, Aanenson at 6'10", but you're right. After him, it's a notable drop-off. And Apple Valley in that situation with Brock Bertram. But you don't come across too many 6'10 guys. Fadeaway jumper. Well, that would have been a beauty had that gone in. Marty Hill with the rebound. Wright used up the dribble. Skip pass to John. John against Ellison. He turns around and can't lay it in. The battle is won by Wright. Going to Hill. He draws contact, no foul. Ellison with the rebound. He goes behind the back to Shiro. Shiro almost lost the handle, but he finds Hovde. Out to Wittes for 3. That's long. And Hill to Gibson. Champlin Park could run out clock here, or they'll go for 3 instead. Jeremy Johnson, no, but the weak side rebound by Wright. Trying to draw the foul against Buckley, can't do it, but he gets his own rebound. And Champlin Park can eat up more time here as they look to move to 14-0 and earn what would be a 7th consecutive win for Minnesota teams. And the first year I covered this event 2 years ago, all 3 Minnesota teams lost to their out-of-state competition. The last one was an in-state match. So Minnesota teams winning the last 7, and again, not little more than bragging rights, but
it's something to hold the hand on, keep it going.
It's a telling sign of how talented Minnesota basketball is.
Yeah, it's really picked up over the years, our in-state talent.
Well, all the scouts that we send, and Minnesota, I mean, the biggest draw is undoubtedly the state hockey tournament. Basketball, though, has its fan base, and we mentioned in our last game a record number of credentials issued for this year's event. John used up the dribble and trying a turnaround look, and he gets his own ball back. People pay attention. They want to see these players before they move off to colleges, or some of them stay home. There is a huge culture around basketball. And the difference between the two, basketball compared to hockey, it's easier to get involved in the sport of basketball. You don't need as much equipment or resources. You just need, if you've got a court with some hoops, a ball, and maybe your jersey, you're all good to go. It's also a lot warmer.
A lot warmer, yeah.
Nothing against hockey, but it's a little warmer.
You save a lot more teeth.
Well, it depends. You could take an elbow to the face. We've seen that.
We have seen
Maya
that.
Moore, remember, she made contact with Simone Augustus, got a big bruise that lasted for a few days last year.
And that was nasty.
Ended up scoring 30 points, though, in that game against the Liberty, but had to get taken out of the game to be stitched up. Parker Buckley will stitch a couple of points in Rice Lake's column. He's up to 5, but Rice Lake is running out of time. 2:35 left in regulation, and Champlin Park will be in no hurry to score here. As you see Johnson pump fake and then pull out. Rice Lake's going to have to play some aggressive man here. And Johnson found an opening.
Well, that's...
And the official says 3 on the hold. He brought Aanenson down.
Yeah, that was a wrestling move he did there. He just took him down.
If that's a loose ball foul, this would put Rice Lake at the line. But that means Theo John is out of the game. He is disqualified. He finishes with 7 points, 2:17 left. This is a chance for Rice Lake.
That was huge because he is the presence down for them to guard Aanenson. He's been giving Aanenson a run.
It's made it difficult. Although Aanenson is up to 28, we talked about containing him as the key to the game. He's still getting to his average, but he got him in early foul trouble. It's hard to stop a post player, though, with a long-distance shot. You mentioned Kevin Love being one of those guys. And again, the evolution of the stretch 4, these post players who have these, who can hit a jumper. We've seen that in the NBA. We see that in the WNBA. You do not see many traditional centers like you used to. One-on-one situation for Aanenson, and he gets the front end.
He's had a ton of free throws this game.
Now, Rice Lake has 1 foul to give, so the foul and chase game is more of an option. And Aanenson gets 30, matching his average. 69-62. But Rice Lake in a bind. Will they play foul and chase? Will they try to get a steal? They're going to need a stop in some way without the benefit of a shot clock. They're going to have to play aggressive. Well, there's a foul on Buckley. That's Rice Lake's last to give, but now the foul and chase game is more of an option.
Oh, looks like they're in
well,
the
they do call it a shooting foul.
Oh,
well, let's see what happens here. JT Gibson at the line. He hasn't been there much, but he does have 22 points. No, they there's some confusion here. Now they go side out. The official said it was 6. I thought there might have been a shooting motion involved, but the officials.
Long day.
It happens. It happens. We're all just trying to keep track. Sometimes I don't know what's going on. Hill. Deflected, but it stays with Champlin Park, so they can eat up more clock. That's a bit dangerous, though. And again, Champlin Park, they're up by 7, so they can relax, but they have to be careful.
I got Aanenson on JT since Theo has fouled out. That's interesting.
Rice Lake extending their defense here. Now McKinley Wright is fouled by Buckley. 1-on-1 situation for Champlin Park. And let's see what happens here.
His third, team 7.
You never know what's, like you just said, 1-on-1, you never know.
You missed the front end. Rice Lake could go on a fast break play. But McKinley Wright makes the front end, and he's been pretty active from the free throw line and the scoring column today. As we mentioned, 3 of Champlin Park's players in double figures. It tends to vary from game to game. It's a close-knit group, and those guys are best friends on the court and off. Well, Wright splits here. So, Rice Lake has an opening. Let's see what they do with it. You know, they're going to look for Aanenson. NBA 3, it's good!
He's got it all!
5-point margin. Timeout with 1:15 left in regulation. That is Rice Lake's last timeout. We'll take one as well. This is the 19th annual Timberwolves Shootout.
Oh boy, he could flat out score.
Who cares what it holds if it can't hold your gaze?
Why may I have your attention, fans? Just a reminder.
Who cares how tight it can turn if it can't turn heads? Who cares how capable it is if it's incapable of creating a reaction? Any SUV can move something, but can it move you? Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Aanenson up to 33 points, and that's going to get him among the list of top performances at the Timberwolves Shootout, matching him up with Matt Thomas for the 10th spot, and 1:15 left. Game reset for you. Rice Lake out of timeouts, Champlin with 3, but that's a bit academic here. Champlin Park not keen on stopping the clock. Both teams in the bonus, but we're in the 1-and-1 range. So Rice Lake, if they can't force the steal, as they're unable to there, Wittes will be hit with a foul. That's his 4th. But a 1-and-1 here.
Rice Lake number 10, Ben Wittes.
So
you just got to make sure at Champlin Park you hit your free throws.
Well, that's going to be key. Nick Hay is going to the line. Making those free throws is imperative.
And this is the right guy you want to put on the line. I don't think he's attempted a field goal all game, so he's kind of cold.
Nick Hayes has not. Nick Hayes also competes on the baseball team for Champlin Park, along with Aaron Klepner. But a big free throw here. The front end of a 1-and-1 is empty. And Champlin Park unable to get the O-board. So Rice Lake with 112 can make this a 1-possession game if they're able to score.
Ben Wittes returns. returns for Rice Lake.
We mentioned in their keys, the transition D, the rebounding. They've been getting better at that in the second half, especially the rebounding. There's well, I don't know if that's the guy you wanted for three, but Aanenson. That's a jump ball.
Jump ball.
Rice Lake with the arrow, though, 55.8. That was Kyle Croteau with the three, shooting the left-handed shot. That's probably not what they wanted.
At least
he was open.
He gave him a chance to get the offensive rebound, hit rim.
Right, and you see Aanenson down in the paint. You know, you're open, take that shot. May not be the guy you want to shoot, but if you're open, you take it.
Yeah, sometimes it's...
Winnis! Oh, that would have been huge, but Aanenson again! But Champlin Park, they've got to keep the ball away. Rice Lake gonna have to foul here. 40 seconds and counting. Still 1-1, unless they call it an intentional foul. But it appears it's a common foul, so Hovde picks up his third. But they send Jeremy Johnson, who has illuminated the transition game for Champlin Park today. They send him to the free throw line. Just needs to make one to make this a two-possession game again.
Yeah, he's been on very huge for them today.
And he makes the front end. One two-possession game again. Wow. That was Rice Lake's Kevin Orr making contact with McKinley Wright, and the officials missed it. Meanwhile, Johnson makes one of two, so it's only a 4-point game. The twists and turns are adding up here in the final seconds. Let's see what this means. Aanenson. No, and he had a double team, and Wittes is, I thought it was gonna go off of him, but it goes off Champlin Park. So the Rebels still not out of this yet. Aanenson again missing the inbound play, comes up with it, and he's fouled. That stops the clock with 16.9.
This is getting toasty.
Well, and that's not a bad thing for Rice Lake, because had Aanenson scored, Rice Lake is out of timeouts.
Third personal foul on Champlin Park, Marty Hill.
Huge miss.
Rice Lake having trouble finishing, and a reminder at the end of this game we will get a post-game interview and wrap things up, because we have to get our equipment out of here before the Timberwolves move in. Aanenson makes the back end. Substitutions coming in. Aanenson up to 36 points though.
Joe Thurston returns for the Warriors.
That ties him with Nick Horvath of Mounds View, 7th highest total in the history of this shootout. There's a quick foul. Marty Hill to the line, 15.8 left. Double bonus now.
Rice Lake foul number 14, Joe Thurston.
Marty Hill with 6 points. We haven't heard much from him today. But that replay, Kevin Orr making contact with Wright, I don't think that was intentional. And you see coaches, they'll go out to the floor to call out plays, and I guess not quite a Mike Tomlin situation.
I was gonna say, yeah, where's Mike Tomlin at? Is he down there?
No Tomlin, but Brian Smith. I think, no, he didn't foul out of the game. Somebody picked up their 5th. Champlin Park coming up clutch here at the charity stripe.
Hill at the line, shooting 2.
Marty Hill with his first one. That makes it a 4-point game. That should be enough to close it out. Aanenson is blocked. No, foul on
They
Wright.
call the foul.
3 free throws coming. And you hear the Champlin Park fans give their assessment of the call.
A fadeaway 3.
And he draws
and he
the
drew
foul.
the foul.
But he's got to make the free throws. 9.1 left. Aanenson with 36.
He's got a lot of skill. Check this out. 6'10" guy and can dribble down the floor, fade away three, and he gets the foul. But still, like these kids got a ton of skill.
He'll have a few D1 offers, I'm sure. And a defensive substitution here. Parker Buckley going in. It's a one-possession game again, so no matter what happens, Rice Lake's going to foul almost immediately. Aanenson makes all three. More subs coming in. And with those 3 free throws, Aanenson now has 39 points, matching the total set by Marcus Levette earlier today. And that also ties him, along with Sam Newman, for 6th in shootout history. Right, Champlin Park gonna get the inbound, but a foul. Now that's tough. That is tough.
Away from the inbound.
Before the inbound.
Rice Lake foul, number 24.
The clock doesn't move, but it's 2 free throws, double bonus anyway. But you had a chance, I mean, until the ball is released, you always have that chance to get the 5-second call. I would not have tried to foul unless the ball was in play. But Gibson has to make 2 free throws to make this a 2-possession game again. We've seen Champlin Park very astute from the charity stripe today. Gibson continues that trend. That should be enough. 75-71 with 9 seconds to go. 3 on the way. That's off the mark. Champlin Park will stay undefeated. They move to 14-0. Rice Lake falls to 7-4, and Minnesota picks up its 7th straight win in Timberwolves shootout play. 75-71 the final. Henry Aanenson with a game-high 39 points, but his solo effort was outnumbered by Champlin Park's balance. 3 players in double figures. JT Gibson, the high scorer, 24. McKinley Wright with 14. Jeremy Johnson with 20. But a great showcase today, and we always get these at the T-Wolves shootout. But Champlin Park's balance, they've taken down the top teams in the state. They've taken a team who has battled some of the top Minnesota teams. Champlin Park is going to be a very dangerous team to watch as we get through the second half of the season.
Yeah, they showed what they can do on a big stage. They didn't fumble the ball. They kept their composure. They had players all over the court making plays. Rice Lake they're a good team. They show that they can also play, but they're more of a one-man, you know. They got Aanenson. Champlin Park's got 3 to 4 guys who can make good plays.
But it's all, you know, it's nice to get some TV time, and it looks like Don Ackerman is going to get things set up here. He's going to have a post-game chat with Henry Aanenson of Rice Lake, even though he didn't get the win. 39 points and an outstanding effort. It looks like we're going to get Wittes as well. He's still trying to figure that out. But great slate of games today. And don't forget, you can order, well, we'll go to Don.
We ready? All right, Coach. Great game. Talk about being here.
You know what? Obviously, this was a great experience for us. Great experience for our program. I mean, obviously, Champlin Park they're a big time team. You know, they're really, really good. You know, I thought our kids competed really, really, really well. You know, Matt and the Timberwolves organization did a great job. You know, they make it, you know, friendly as far as finances. You know, you get this and plus the T-Wolves game for $15, you know. So my hat's off to Matt and the Timberwolves organization.
Great. And you got 2 players you want me to talk to here?
Yep.
Talk about being here. Play where the pros play.
I know it's fun. It's this is where I want to play. One day I want to be in the NBA, so it's fun to be able to play on this court.
Nice. Now, anything special about this trip? Anything else?
You know, it's just a good trip. I'm really proud of our guys the way we played, and now I'm excited to come watch T-Wolves play Spurs.
Great job, man.
Fun. Yep. Thank you.
Talk about this experience.
You know, it was a fun game. I mean, there's a lot of crowd coming here, and the team was really good. I mean, coming to this game, we knew it was going to be extremely tough, and I thought we came out and played really good.
How about the lights out intro? Is that pretty fun?
That was really fun. That was really fun.
Cool. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Don. Quick reminder, you can order DVD copies of this game at streampowered.com. That's stream-powered.com. All 4 games available on demand at schoolspacemedia.tv. And don't forget to watch our show Minnesota Prep Spotlight tonight and every Saturday night at 11 p.m. on KSTC 45. For Don Ackerman and Andrew Aanenson and our entire crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thank you for watching the 19th annual Timberwolves Shootout. Hopefully we'll see you next year for year 20. Thank you for watching.
This has been the 2015 Timberwolves Shootout, brought to you by School Space Media and Stream Powered Productions. Thank you for watching. This game is brought to you in part by Anoka Ramsey Community College and Anoka Technical. It's more than a college, it's a community dedicated to your success. By the Urgency Room, with locations in Eagan, Woodbury, and Madness Heights. They'll have you in fast and home soon. Go to the Urgency Room. And by Minnesota Prep Spotlight, Saturdays at 11 p.m. on 45 TV. Watch this game for free online at schoolspacemedia.tv or order on DVD at stream-powered.com.